hello, and welcome to the latest episode of the Give My Head podcast. I'm Tim McGarry, joined by my comedy colleagues.
Damon Quinn.
Yeah, took your time to say that, Damon. Well done. Did you forget your name there? You're not well today. Damon has a sty in his eye.
Yes.
Well, I didn't like to point that out.
So I'm going to be talking like this, okay?
Yeah, okay.
So, just so you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for, if you haven't been before, where have you been? You're very, very welcome. We're delighted to say that this episode of the Give My Head podcast is sponsored by our favourite sponsors, Phoenix Energy. Phoenix Energy, we love. Phoenix Energy. Phoenix Energy owns and manages the gas distribution network from Larne to Newcastle, fueling over 250,000 homes. Do you have gas in your house, Carl?
Oil.
Oil.
Yeah. Sorry, boys.
All right. Move on quickly here.
Yeah, Michael, you have gas. Well, Phoenix Energy are fueling the future. They had their latest Phoenix Energy campaign. Fueling the Future is currently running on Billboard and social. This is a new campaign around some of the exciting stuff they're currently working on, including introducing biomethane to their existing gas network as a renewable alternative, which is far better than oil, Carl Frampton. Gas is far better than oil, isn't that right?
Absolutely. Do you know what biomethane is?
No idea.
It's animal waste.
Oh, yeah, I did know that, actually. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, biomethane, yes. It's funny because we were talking about farts before we come on. You were saying that the sty I have, that you can actually, it can be caused by...
I've heard that. I don't know if it's a story now. If someone farts in your eyes,
right,
you get
right.
a sty.
Well, I just want to make it clear on air here. Nobody farted in my eye, right?
Well,
okay.
I'm not sure the exact science, but Phoenix Energy, basically, they collect all the farts that cows make.
I think it's the tongue. I don't think they go wrong with farts.
Yes.
All right, okay, all right.
It's a guy with a bag running around.
It's a bit more sophisticated than
Yes,
that.
it is. Yes.
All right, thank you, Phoenix Energy. You can find more information if you go to phoenixenergyni.com, fueling the future. Also, they're brilliant, by the way, if you want to convert from oil to gas. Like Carl Frampton probably wants to do, and will eventually, because you get instant heat.
I'll speak to
You get instant heat. You get.
Cooking is much better on gas. Cooking with gas, as I say. And also, but actually, the first time I had the heater on, it was a bit chilly this morning, and the speed of the heat was amazing. Yep. Really, really quick.
There you go.
Really
From the horse's mouth, the man who has Phoenix Energy. Thank you very much to Phoenix Energy for your sponsorship. You'll be delighted to know Phoenix Energy. You've sponsored a very, very good episode because we have a very superb guest who I'm delighted to welcome to the Give Me Head podcast. It's none other than world champion himself, Mr. Carl Frampton. How are you, sir?
Right.
Doing all right, boys.
You're looking well, sir. You're looking
Thanks
relaxed.
very much.
You're looking chilled. You're okay.
Life's good. Can't complain at the minute.
You can if you want.
No, I'm all right. I'm busy enough, but it's nice. It's a good balance, you know.
Yeah.
Some few days off here and there, and busy other days, so it's good.
So world champion, but a lot of people don't know that you're a doctor as well. Did you know a doctor? Did you know?
No, I don't know.
Didn't Dr. Carl Frampton?
Did you? Yeah, you were there the day.
The guy was there. You got an honorary doctor. Doctor, you got an honorary doctorate from Queen's University.
Yeah. It felt a bit weird, to be honest. Because there's people getting genuine degrees, isn't there? And I'm kind of there with the hat and gown on, and like, what did I do, really?
Whoa. You see, but I think that's...
No, but I mean, they done an education. I know, but theirs was earned.
Well, you go into a ring and get punched quite a lot, and you earn it. But also, you've contributed so much to Northern Ireland that I think Queen's recognised that was a very good thing to do.
It was lovely.
It was nice. Yeah. You actually wore it into a ring once, didn't you?
I wore it, yeah. I wore the gown. I had a fight in Las Vegas, and obviously you have sponsors and stuff, so I needed to get it. Well, I needed to ask Queen's could I have it to do it first, and they gave me it. Got it logoed up and stuff, and I fought a kid called Taylor McCreary in the Cosmopolitan in Vegas.
Right.
And wore it in.
Yeah, brilliant.
Doctorate from Queen's, eh?
Yeah.
See, that's how highly Queen's think. Maybe Queen's would probably take my degree off me. If they could, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Carl, I read this over the weekend. What a boring weekend I had. No, I'm joking. I read this over the weekend. I had this, and it's an excellent book, Carl Frampton, the imaginatively titled Carl Frampton, My Autobiography. Well, there's a foreword by a fellow called Patrick Keelty, who says, arguably the best Irish boxer of all time. If I was the editor, I'd have taken out the arguably bit. Just said the best Irish boxer.
I'm happy to be in the argument.
You're happy to be in the argument.
Well, even Mr. McGuigan said that, didn't he?
Oh, well,
I'd say Barry's one in the argument too.
Yeah.
Steve Collins, Katie Taylor.
Katie Taylor. But Patrick Keelty, a very nice introduction. He says wonderful things about you, and then he admits that he's never actually seen you fight live.
Yeah, I wish I knew that before I asked him to do the forward.
I'm just going to say, mate, parody fight in the SSE, I was there.
Yeah.
Another fight in the SSE, I was there. Titanic, I was there.
Yeah.
And Windsor Park, where I'm fucking soaked and I've just about dried out from that fight in the Windsor Park. I was there. 4 fights.
Sorry about that, Tim. Didn't realise.
Didn't even get asked.
Yeah.
Didn't even get asked. Patrick fucking Keelty.
Can I tell you a story about that as well?
Yeah.
Keelty was the second man I asked. I'd asked.
I wasn't even on the list,
No,
was I?
I love Keelty. Paddy's a good lad. But I'd asked McElroy first.
Oh, Rory, right.
Aye. Via Harry Damon, who I know he's his caddy, but he's obviously very, very busy.
Right.
But also, he says that everybody on the tour wants him to do their forward, and it would be. I've said no to a lot of them, so that's okay.
Could it also be the fact that he came to one of your fights and a certain promoter charged him
Well,
£1,200 to sit?
possibly.
Could that possibly be
May have been part of it, yeah.
Did you? Well, we'll get to that bit later. But yeah, you actually charge. I mean, because big fights like that, you'd like to have certain stars
that's
come
the way it
to be
is.
at ringside
It's the way
and
it works,
promote the fight.
The big names go, and normally they don't pay. I remember a lot of people. There was a wee bit made out.
I paid every
McElroy.
Time. I paid every
thank
fucking
you.
time. Go ahead,
Thank
sorry.
you.
Go ahead.
It's
the big stars don't pay.
I remember people getting kind of a bit pissed off with me making that point that Rory McIlroy had to pay for his ticket. But it's an honour to have someone like that. Like, you shouldn't be paying for tickets. People like that. No. Or whoever.
You could afford it. Like.
He's all right for a few quid,
he's all right for a few quid. Yeah.
You get it. You know what I mean.
But the book January is a really good read. But Mr. Gibson, what happened? How does that work? By the way, it's with Paul Gibson.
I know Paul pretty well.
So did you just talking? Does he interview and
just speak to him. He knew a lot of my story anyway. He was around for a good part of my career. So speaking in person, speaking over the phone,
right.
And it was good though. It was like a cathartic experience. Just like venting a bit and telling him all the stories, and there was a lot that had to come out of it as well. Like a load that had to come out of it that I thought was maybe okay, but I think the publishers were just being on the safe side because the main job of the book was to hammer the McGuigans, really. That's what it was, and I think I've done that.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be...
Not to tell your life.
No. To be fair, the book is a really good read. Well, there's a lot of boring stuff about hitting people and winning belts and world championships and hard life and and all that, and Tigers Bay, yada, yada. And then you get to the McGuigan bit and you go, fucking hell. What? Yeah. It's kind of mind-boggling.
Yeah, I was glad. Well, I mean...
By the way, just to be absolutely clear, your court case with him was settled. We're ex-lawyers, so whatever you say, be careful because we can't afford the sort of money.
It's been a
can't
few
afford
years.
the sort of lawyers you have.
It's been a few years since it happened, so I've always been careful, and I know what I can and can't say. But the fact that I can write so much about it was because the court case went on so long.
Yeah.
Like I think it was maybe.
It was 19 days.
19 days. I'm going to say 20, but about 19 days. And then there was a settlement, which I can say I'm very happy with. I'm allowed to say that. I've got permission off John Finucane. So,
no better man.
Yeah. So because it went on so long, there was so much that I could say, and because it was during COVID. I felt like it wasn't reported on properly.
As much as...
like if the courtroom had been full,
Because we're old enough to remember the McGuigan-Barney Eastwood court case, which was massive at the time. And a huge event.
We were all lawyers at the time. I mean, I used to go in there, I used to bring my lunch into the end of the court when they were running the McGuigan Eastwood thing.
Yeah.
I can imagine. It was fascinating.
Well, the funniest thing about it was, because I was practicing at that time, I was a barrister at that stage, the amount of barristers who were in, who had nothing to do with the case, who were just sitting with their wigs on.
Yeah.
Just a sea of wigs. It's a sea of wigs, And
it ended up being the biggest libel case in Europe at the time, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, no, the biggest
libel.
He got Barney Eastwood got £500,000 of Barry McGuigan for libel.
Yeah.
And you'd have thought maybe Barry would learn his lesson and avoid courts.
Yeah, you'd have thought.
Stay away from court. Whatever you do. Yeah.
Because when it first started, everybody went, because Barry had been world champion and all that, and was, because we remember 85, we're old enough to remember 85 when he won, and he was fated. He was fated. He had a big reception in Belfast. Tens of thousands of people came out to see him. Everybody thought Barry. Everybody loves Barry, and everybody thought, well, Barney, managers, boxing's a bit, and it turned out that it was the other way around.
Yeah. Funny thing about the Eastwood story, and a bit of a connection with my case. My junior barrister at the time, Peter Gervin, is married to Eastwood's granddaughter.
Oh wow!
Oh,
yeah. So there was a bit of a connection there, and Barry being, I know McGuigan obviously, and very superstitious man. I knew that would have been doing his head in.
Right.
But that wasn't why I put.
No. I was at school with Barney Eastwood's son, Fergal. Lovely friend. Took a couple of McGuigan's early fights and stuff. Yeah, but no, I just remember that being a massive, massive case. But even I've read both Barry's autobiography and Barney Eastwood's autobiography, and it's in this as well. You get boxing. Boxing's a weird fucking sport. There's nothing straightforward in boxing, is there?
Nothing at all.
It's just the weirdest thing. From and I love the stories early on. You fighting in Huddersfield, for literally a few hundred quid, and then suddenly you're going to 200 people, and then suddenly just going mega like that.
No, it was good. I was lucky in a sense, but boxing is full of, and it's a dirty, dirty business, and it's full of crooks, really. But what drew me to it was, I was doing it since I was a kid, and I was just curious because I was a kid that loved all sports, and there was a local club maybe 200 yards from the front door, and I wanted to try it out, and I did, and I liked it, and I was good at it at the start as well. And I was like I was quiet, like a quiet kid.
Would you have been a fighter in school?
No, so that was one of the reasons why it drew me to it, because I could box and I was good at it, and the guys that were a bit more boisterous or louder at me in the street that I was shied away from, I was filling them in the gym. So there was something nice about that.
Absolutely.
You get your revenge.
Yeah, I was never a fighter in school, but I made sure that a couple of mates who were fighters, so I didn't have to do any fighting.
No, I don't
but there's always the ones in the class who were the fighters.
There were people, yeah.
But I wondered, did they the ones that necessarily go into boxing?
Not really. My cousin Rob was probably, I would say Rob was known as the best fighter in our year, and he didn't box.
Right.
I think he done anything. He didn't play football or anything. He just used to fight people.
Because you played football. You played football as well. You were quite.
I played football. It was all right. I was at the Cruise up until under 16, and then I played for like teams before that. And then I joined the Cruise, but it was that age where you have to pick one or the other really to go serious. And I might have been a left or right back for. Flipping, not even the Cruise. It would have been down the leagues a wee bit, probably.
As
50 quid a week, you know what I mean, or being a world champion boxer. So I think I made the right choice.
It's funny you say about a lot of sports stars who have got they have to choose between, like Andy Murray to choose between soccer and tennis. And it seems to be a big thing that there's there is that.
You're good at something.
They're good at sports.
And I made the decision because I was better at boxing, but I loved football more. If I'm being honest, like I loved football, and I love still to play it every now and again.
Crusaders fan, you love football.
Yeah, well, I know it's not going great at the minute, is it? But, I love football.
Who was the guy we met? Indoor bowls champion.
No, you two met him. I never met him.
Indoor bowls champion, right?
Oh yes,
right,
and he was brilliant at golf when he was young, and he was brilliant at indoor bowls, and he made the terrible decision to take up indoor bowls.
Yeah.
And I think if you become world champion at indoor bowls, you get a pat on the back and a bag of Maltese. If you're ranked 250th in golf, you're a multi-millionaire. So lovely guy, but and he wasn't too bitter, but he was just going, maybe should have stuck at the old golf.
Sure, he could have been a millionaire, KC.
Well, that's true.
But he chose a choice. It's a different choice.
He chose to go into showbiz.
But you go into boxing, it's a working class sport and all of that, and there are huge amounts of money to be. Do you go in going, I'm great at boxing, I'm going to be a multi-millionaire? Or do you go in because it's fun, you enjoy it, you think I'm good?
I was skint my whole life, and my family never had much either, but I think the real reason is you want to be a world champion, and that's why I turned professional. And And maybe there is a bit of a thought about money and what car you're maybe going to drive and stuff, but it's not the driving factor really. It's just it's really about winning things.
And Ireland does have Northern Ireland has a good history of boxing as well. I mean, we have a tradition, you know. With McGuigan, obviously. I mean, thinking Dave Boy McCauley. Dave Boy was on Give Me Headpod.
Yeah. Always in good fights as well. Dave Boy wasn't never in a bad fight.
Yeah. It's good. Hugh Russell,
Hugh Russell, Wayne McCulloch.
Wayne McCulloch, of course.
I loved a lot of time for Hugh, so I did, and very sad when he died.
Passed away
recently. Do you know I'd heard he was sick, but I didn't know if it was kind of on the hush or not. Yeah. And I didn't want to contact him or anything about it. And then when people started to talk about it, I phoned him. Yeah. And he was all right. All right, kid, and you know, and he was speaking to me like, and I said, look, I'm going to come up and see you. And me and Paddy Barnes were planning on going to visit him, and it was like a week later from the phone call, and I think he died. He died 5 days later, so whenever he got to see him, it was a bit sad.
He's good lad. He was a good lad.
Okay, cute. I didn't think he looked like a boxer.
No, he doesn't.
You know?
No,
he never
not at all.
struck me. You know, he didn't.
Even his demeanour is nice, gentle, lovely fella.
Yeah.
There's a famous photograph of the Ulster Hall where he's literally covered in blood.
And the mum. Have you seen that one where he's leaning out the ring, covered in blood, and the mum's giving him a kiss?
The mum's giving him a kiss. And there's a couple of brilliant photographs, and that's something similar with yourself. But I mean, did you look up to boxers? Did you think this is somebody?
No, I did. I looked up. And when I was a kid, Wayne McCulloch was in his pump.
Right.
So he was the one I kind of looked up to, and obviously I knew about McGuigan, but it was before my time. And Steve Collins was after McGuigan, but I didn't even know really a lot about them because we didn't have Sky, we didn't have all the
there
channels
used to be a Northern Ireland boxer. I can't remember. Was it Charlie Nash?
Charlie Nash from Derry. Yeah.
And I used to always feel sorry for him because every time he used to get beat up all the time, and every time he was on giving an interview, because he always had two black eyes.
He was good though.
Charlie
was good. He did he fight Jim Watt? I think
Jim Watt.
Yeah, Scottish world champion.
There's a bit in the book that's quite interesting about sort of some of this is overblown, saying, boxing was one of those cross-community sports and everybody with the Protestants and all get on and through the troubles. And you said that's a wee bit overblown, some of that, is it?
What's that?
The sectarian element, that everybody in boxing was all,
I'd say it does. It's a sport that brings people together, but it's not like it's everyone's in peace and harmony. And, you get called the odd Orange Bee every now and again, or whatever, depending on where you were. But for the majority, it was okay. And
if you lost, you were an Orange.
Yeah, I had there's a story I tell in that where it's a funny one. I fought a kid. I said it was Downpatrick, I think, in the book, but my dad corrected me, and apparently it was Oma. And I'd just boxed for Northern Ireland, the Commonwealth Youth Games, so I had a Northern Ireland vest on with NI on the back, and fought this guy. It was meant to be a 4-round fight. He was the local hero, and the referee comes to our corner at the end of round 3 and says, "Look, because I was beating him up. Right. We're gonna call it here at round 3. We don't want the kid to get hurt in the last round." So I go out to the centre of the ring. The winner in the red corner, the other guy. And I'm going, you can't stop. What are you talking? I go ballistic, but I remember being called an orange, whatever, a few times.
Because you beat him up.
I think it was because of the tantrum, really. Yeah. That was it, yeah.
But that's the kind of thing that there's a few stories I got in boxing. You go, you've clearly won, and the judges just go, no, it was Tim McGarry won. And you go, what? I could have.
It happens. It happens. But
is this the point?
Part of the game.
Well, the point,
point score, but even just sometimes club shows and stuff, depending. It's very hard to win on a club show if you're the away fighter, unless you really beat someone up. Like, they're always going to give it to the local boy. Yeah. Well, most of the time. So it happens. It happens.
When you went into the ring, do you worry about getting hit, or does that just go out of your?
No, you don't worry about that. You worry about losing. That's the main worry. Not about getting hit, and it's not. Like, it's not nice. You
I
feel
would worry about getting hit.
Yeah, you think that, but I think adrenaline takes over. You're not really worrying about anything.
Because you would be hit, you see. Carl's got his guard up and can punch back as well. You couldn't.
The adrenaline takes over, and it's sore, but it's not really. You get a big dig in the mouth in a fight, then it's not like you're going, that was sore. You just carry on with it, and then it's the day after.
Yeah.
you start to feel it a bit.
Yeah, it's like when I remember like you were in school and you had fights, and I remember that sort of salty taste you got when you got thumped, you know.
Yeah,
but like
salt.
Yeah, it's almost like well, that's what I remember. Anyway.
That was your tears.
Coming out of your first
So I was at Titanic for the first. That was your first world championship.
That was down at the slipway. Titanic? That's when I won my first world title.
What year was that? That was
14, was it?
14.
Yeah.
And I missed New York because it wasn't invited.
I thought you were going to say I wasn't allowed in.
No, I wasn't invited. And you went and bought drinker for everybody afterwards.
Yeah.
Apart from Jimmy Nesbitt, who you didn't have to buy a drink for.
Yeah.
Jimmy's a big fan, isn't he?
Yeah, Jimmy's a good lad. Jimmy's a good fella, yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to get him on this podcast. He's elusive, shall we say.
It's hard. He'll do it, I'm sure.
He will do, yeah.
He's done a few bits with big Tommy McCarthy and Tyrone.
Yeah. He likes his boxing, doesn't he?
He likes a boxing. I think he likes sport. He likes a football. He's a Coleraine fan as well, isn't he? So
I know. I've seen him at Coleraine matches.
Yeah, Jimmy's a good lad.
Yeah. But Slipway won Titanic 2014.
Yeah.
World champion. Changes your life, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
So, I mean, from
does.
Being a container, in terms of not just money, but fame and everything, TV rights.
Yeah, everything just kind of ramped up. I remember it was massive at the time when I done it. I mean, I was in front pages and stuff of the paper, never mind the back pages. It was a big story, and I'd fought Kiko Martinez, but I'd already fought him. There was a wee bit of needle between us, so the whole narrative and the story was good. And me and Kiko, by the way, have at one point didn't really like each other, but with a great respect for each other now, and would send each other the odd
I
message.
think you say in the book there's only one boxer you didn't like.
Yeah,
it's an American guy,
Chris Avalos.
Chris Avalos.
Yeah.
You just didn't take them, but
just he's.
Prick.
Was he a Trump supporter or something?
No, he wasn't. He was. I doubt he was a Trump supporter. He was. He was just an arsehole, to be honest. That's and his family weren't nice people. There was a moment where the brother, and was caught on camera. The brother took out a bit of chewing gum out of his mouth and threw it at me.
Right.
Yeah, and it was
At
just
a
a
weigh-in?
bit out of way, and like he was a scumbag.
Right.
I can say that. Don't like him.
got the way, and there was all that kind of.
There's all that. There's a wee bit of kind of, and there's always a bit of respect afterwards. But he was,
that's all for cameras.
yeah,
That's a bit of,
there is a bit of that to add to it. But he was, I genuinely
just
didn't
nasty.
like him. And I remember saying, like, if I in my head going into a fight, like if I knock this guy out, when the fights happen, there's always a bit of respect between a hug or a handshake. I remember thinking, I'm not going near this prick. Like if once I win this fight, but I didn't have to because they had to put an oxygen mask on him and get him out the ring quickly. So didn't have the opportunity.
Maybe that was the time to go. Are you all right?
No. I think you say in the book you want to give him an arm, get him up. Well, but I mean, you've respect for virtually everybody else you've fought, though. That's so. It's not,
absolutely.
I mean, so there is respect among fighters because it's not an easy. It's not an easy game.
No, it's not
Would
easy.
you have a plan? Like, if you're a particular fighter, would you have a plan, a game plan each time?
Yeah, of course.
You know?
Yeah, you'd have.
But I mean, I
you'd have
read
a
the
couple.
saying, you know, that everyone has a plan till they get hit.
Punch
You
in the
know,
mouth.
but-
That was Mike Tyson said that. Yeah, it's a great quote as well. But yeah, you do have a plan. But I mean, saying that the Josh Warrington fight when I had that, it was brutal and I lost pretty badly. I was beat up pretty badly the first few rounds. I'd done well to get to the end, but that was one of them instances where you have a plan until you get a punch in the mouth because he nailed me in the first round, and rather than kind of trying to gather my thoughts and hold on, I'm just winging back, and it was like something you'd see on the street. Like it was a street fight rather than anything else. So the plan kind of, not that it went out the window, I just forgot about it.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of it's pugilism. There's a lot of tactic. It's
sure,
not
a lot of
just two
discipline.
people.
Yeah,
Well, tons of discipline and all that.
Yeah.
You know? What I like, I mean, boxing is you know, it's the toughest game in the world and all of that. I mean, it really is kind of your career could go like that in one punch.
Yeah,
you know?
it could
take
be.
your eye off your opponent for half a second.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's a. There's so many. I mean, there's fighters in positions that maybe they aren't warranted because they have a bit of a reputation and a following and they're good on social media.
Yeah.
Whereas some guys who are world class maybe don't get the opportunities because they're not as vocal. And that's the side of it that's unfair to me. I don't like that, but it's a tough game.
But you've also done something unique as well, which is kind of Northern Ireland being Northern Ireland is always sort of but you were very gracious in victory and magnanimous in victory and gracious in defeat. You know, so I think people respected. I've met your mum and dad a couple of times. You were well brung up, Carl, weren't you?
Yeah, no, I think so.
No, genuinely, you were well brung up, and I think that comes across. People respected you, not just for some boxers you go, all right, he's good at hitting people, but.
I was always myself, and I never tried to kind of get out of line. And people, especially being from here in Northern Ireland, like it was important not to kind of nail my colours to the mast. People knew who I was and where I was from, and but you don't have to shove it down their throats every 2 seconds. And I think people seem to respect that. Who was the boxer
who said you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth?
I was Chris Avalos. That was the guy I didn't like.
The man who's never been to Tigers Bay.
Someone says he got Helen's Bay mixed up with Tigers Bay.
Was it you or Christine who watched Give My Headpiece and decided, you know what, we're going to be like we're going to be like Billy and
I loved Give My Headpiece when I was a kid, so we always watched it. But yeah, Christine's funny, isn't she? She's like
Christine's very
she's
funny.
She's off Twitter and off of social media and stuff now.
Is she?
Yeah, she just went off it, just got fed up with it, and but she was very, very funny. Very funny. She still is funny.
Yeah, she still is. I tell her I said hello. She was a famous Millie one.
That was a good one. That was in the book as well.
It's in the book, yeah. She was Christine. Yeah. Got a bit of abuse, didn't she?
She got a bit of abuse.
Is that because she was a Westie or was
a Westie probably and whatever. Someone, there was just a picture of me and her after a big Quig.
Yeah.
And someone says, "Look at the state of that Millie."
Right.
And Christine replied and says, "I think you spelled millionaire wrong, you dickhead," or something like that.
Very good. Nice one.
That was a big fight, so that nailed her. Yeah.
Can we talk about? We'll talk about a certain Mr. McGuigan in a while. Could I talk about a couple of other things? Number one, you big supporter of integrated education.
Yeah.
I was at your old school, Glengormley High, where they've got a fabulous mural of you.
Yeah, I was asking just before this, but it's like a mural of me, but they ask you to come and open it up. What's going on there?
Couldn't afford your card. I'm cheap. I'm available. No, it's actually it's a good friend of ours and the hole in the wall guy, a guy called Niall Leonard, and the Leonard family have been very generous supporters of integrated education, and they paid for the extent. I think it was their sixth form centre.
Oh, good
and
on
their sport. But yes, I have you not seen this mural?
I've seen a photograph of it. I haven't seen it with my own eyes.
You should go up and go and see.
Yeah, it looks nice.
High. You're a star pupil up there.
I like the school. I enjoyed school as well. And Glengormley, it's see if you'd have said to me it's an integrated school now.
Yeah.
When I was in school then, if you'd have said to me that there's a chance that this is going to become an integrated school, you'd have laughed.
Yeah.
Like really, thought no chance. But it's good, and it's going well at the minute, and results are good, and everything else. So.
Oh, very good. Yeah, no, well, I do a few gigs. We'll have a gig for the Integrated Education Fund on the 15th of October, which I need to... Well, remind me to plug something else, by the way. Or give my headpiece, give my head podcast live show on the 12th of October. Don't forget that. Car, do you want to buy a ticket? It's 1,200 quid, mate. But ringside, I'll get you ringside.
But for Rory McIlroy, it's free.
Rory, it's free, mate, anytime.
Rory turns up, it's free.
Jimmy Nesbitt, we'll give a few free drinks for Jimmy. It's in the Mandela Hall on the 12th of October. IEF, I've been a supporter of. Well, how did you get into it? Did you just...
Well, it's really nicey, the Northern Ireland Council for Integrated Education. That's what I'm an ambassador of, but they're similar.
I think we've split with them.
No,
I'm joking.
No, it's
a joke. No.
But I just asked me. They asked me, and it's something that I think is beneficial to society here. So why not? I've had conversation. My little boy goes to a school which is close to our house, but it's a controlled school at the minute, and I don't upset people. Maybe I'm going to start the conversation off again here, but I've spoke to the principal about trying to make it become officially integrated, and I think he might be on my side here.
I think all the surveys they do of the most of the public population go
I think there's only 9% of schools integrated, something like that.
Yeah, no, it was 7%.
7 is it, right?
It's ridiculous, but we're doing our best to improve that. So thank you for your contribution to that.
No problem.
And the other thing was the big documentary you did recently about mental health issues, which was really quite
It was
powerful.
really good, really good. I'm in the middle of another one at the minute on the probation board,
Right.
which is going to be a 6-parter on BBC,
Right.
probably the start of next year. But I'm kind of just get into that. But some of the people that I've talked to, kind of people that are on probation, victims of crime as well.
Right.
I spoke to people on the probation board, obviously, and probation officers, and some of the stories have been horrendous. I think it'll be a good one, but the one that on mental health was an important one. I think young men in particular, and that was eye opening for me, really.
Yeah. And it was people in your own area, but people all over the place, wasn't it?
Yeah, everywhere. I went everywhere, up the Derry as well, and spoke to people, and it was all over the country, really. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's your conclusions then? Do we need more mental health facilities? Do we need more? I think people need to get off the internet. I think need to take up boxing.
The internet is a big problem. I genuinely think, and social media in particular. But I think that people have an outlet and something where they can go, like a boxing club or a football club or a GAA club or rugby, whatever it may be. Yeah, get outside and smell the air and do something. I think that's an important part. But a bit more funding could go a long way. And I know people. So there's another outfit that I do a lot of, kind of promote what they do. West Wellbeing, do you know them guys? And West, so they literally look after people with mental health issues, men, women, children, older people, all over the community as well. I remember speaking to them saying, because they're in the, what do you call the wee centre in between Poglass and Twinbrook, the dairy farm.
Right.
That's where they're based, and they're called West Wellbeing. I said, you should change your name. Like it doesn't seem like the prods maybe don't feel like they can come over here, but he says that's wrong. It's not accurate. They look after people from everywhere, and they're good people.
Yeah, good. Well, so your TV work then, and you're doing commentary and stuff and punditry on the boxing as well. You're a good looking lad as well.
Thanks very much.
No, take that the right. No, it's just where's
this going?
No, I think that helps. That's why my career has never taken off. No, but genuinely. I mean, you come across well on TV. You can do documentaries. You can do. So, you think there's a career in the television?
Well, I don't know. I've got. I love what I'm doing now, working for the Zone and doing the punditry stuff. I mean, it's easy. It's like I'm not a commentator. I'm a pundit. So I watch a fight and talk about what I've just seen for 5 minutes.
But are you mates with Daniel Day?
He was at one of my fights, Daniel Day.
He's into boxing, isn't he?
He could. So McGuigan actually trained him for The Boxer, the movie, and he done a lot of sparring with Damon. Do you know him? Remember him? No.
Yeah.
Ex-pro, but Damien was a decent fighter, and by his accounts, Daniel was quite good. Like could have done something if he had stuck at it. But he went to one of my fights, and it's nice to say you had an Oscar winner sitting at your fight. So I've had James Martin in my fight. So I've seen him. So I've had 2 Oscar winners.
James Martin, Daniel Taylor. James
Martin. James loves his sport. Yeah, big football fan and all that. So you're going to be doing more, and you're also I was at a launch of your whiskey as well. The
Stablemate whiskey. It's going well. We were the fastest ever alcoholic beverage from launch to being on the shelves in Tesco's. Right. Now we're Tesco's NI. We're only selling NI at the minute, but there's a few things changing at the minute. We have like significant investment coming in, and once that comes in, we've been restricted about how much we can promote it until we get this investment, and also we're worried about selling out of the thing.
Do you want to sponsor a podcast?
Well, we'll do that once we get this investment. Then we'll worry about that.
Just tell that Peter Lavery arrived with bottles of Titanic whiskey and vodka, and you arrived with a T-shirt.
You know what? I'll come back down and
he never misses an opportunity.
But it's either Titanic's vodka.
Yeah.
I think our whiskey's good, and people that are whiskey drinkers like it. Their vodka, exceptional. Yeah. Really good. Don't know if you're a vodka drinker.
I'm not a vodka drinker, but I know somebody who is, and she highly recommended it.
Very nice. Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah. Oh, very good. So you're busy now.
Yeah, flat out. But it's good.
What I like about the end of this book is it's 2023 you wrote the book, isn't it?
I think so, around that
and
time,
you did have the last fight in Saudi Arabia, which.
In Dubai.
Dubai, during lockdown and all that.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a whimper.
It was
a bit of a shit way to go.
Crap. It was a very shit way to go.
But you did announce pretty much there that was you.
That was it. But in my head, I was going into the fight and I wanted to win, obviously. But I'd spoke to my family and I was going to retire anyway. But what a way to retire by becoming a 3-weight world champion and the only fighter from the island of Ireland to do it. It's a great way to sign off. But I got filled in. It didn't work out like that. But
do you think that was on your head or in your head when you were fighting it? Do you think it was
no, not really. And I didn't want to say too much about it in the lead up to the fight to the press or anything because it just sounds a bit negative when you're talking about retirement. But I put so much in that camp. I'd good sparring. I'd sparred Anto Kikachi. I'd sparred another guy called Alex Dilmajani. And if I lost out of 100 rounds of sparring, give or take, if I'd lost 5 rounds, I'd be surprised. Like I was flying. But fighting, people say this, and I learned on that night, fighting and sparring are very, very different. And I remember actually, it was a horrible feeling because I'd seen him at the weigh-in, Jamel Herring, and he's big. He's a lot bigger than me. Like I had no real right to be a super featherweight. I'm too small for a super featherweight, and he was a giant. And he had to be so lean on the scales to make the weight. I'm looking at him, going, I'm gonna run through you tomorrow night. Like he looked banjaxed. He looked terrible, and I was in the ring first as a challenger, so he comes. I remember looking at him walking the ring, going, "Geez, that's not the same fella that I seen yesterday." He must have been a stone and a half heavier. And I remember sitting down on the stool at the end of the first round, and thinking, I don't think I'm as good as I used to be. Right. It's not a nice place. You know what I mean? It was weird. It was a strange feeling.
Right. Do you think you had an off day?
No, I was done. I was old, and like I said, sparring and fighting are very different. And my timing was off. Not like Jamel was a very good fighter, but I'd beaten better fighters before.
Right.
And his jab, he was a southpaw, but he had a decent jab, big long arms, but he had a bit of a tail in his shoulder before the jab came out. So there's a wee movement and then the jab comes. But
you could see it coming?
I could see the tail, but I was still getting hit with the jab.
Oh, right.
Okay.
So you weren't as quick as you were?
My feet would slow down, my reactions would maybe slow down a bit.
I think you say that in the book, your feet were important.
Yeah, they were
people
important.
kind of, don't know an awful lot about boxing. I'm not an expert or by any means, but the feet are very
My feet were very good, and like my judgment of distance, I think, was good. Because I was shorter than most people would have fought, so I had to get in and out of range. And I used to be able to do it, but not against him.
I could take him
now. Because you've got the range.
You
have the range.
I think it was a good thing, though, because quite a lot of boxers don't know when it's over.
Yeah.
I mean, Muhammad Ali went on much more than he should have done.
Yeah. I think he had Parkinson's while he was fighting.
Yeah, he probably did. And whether it was a need for money or whether it was a need for... he just couldn't it was a pride thing.
I think a pride for more so than money for a lot of people, and I know so many people that love boxing. I just wasn't like that. I loved the sport, but I seen it as a job. Like I didn't enjoy getting up at the scrake every day and going to the gym. Like you'd go to bed at night, dread the next day. I would anyway. Where other people loved that, but I'd done it because I had to. But I know people. Tyrone McKenna, for example, and he'll not mind me talking about him, but Tyrone McKenna's always in the best fights you'll ever see, just like Rocky-esque type fights. But he's about to hit a big Tim, but he fights like me because he loves to have a fight when he could just make it boring and jab ahead of people. But, people like him just love something about fighting, and that wasn't really me.
But even McGuigan tried to come back, but it didn't work.
Yeah. He came back. Jim McDonald, and then that's right. He came back, and then
he tried to come back,
and then it didn't work, and then he called it a day. He retired very young, actually. McGuigan, he was 28 when he retired. Yeah, so really young.
So how rigorous is the training? Like, I mean, you're training to be a boxer. I mean, what can you go out for a drink? What can you do?
Well, in between fights, I've done a bit of that, having a drink and messing about, but. It's hard. Like it's a 12-week. I used to have 12-week training camps, and which is probably a little bit longer than most. Most people would have 8 or 10.
But you're saying fit, generally staying pretty fit before that.
Well, that was the problem. That's why I had 12 weeks, because I would have 4 weeks with doing nothing really and getting fat and drinking. So maybe my camps were a bit extended because of that. But once I get into camp, like I grafted, and that was probably why I had the success that it did, because I was talented obviously, but I wasn't the most naturally gifted or anything. But I grafted really, really hard. And that was a difference, really.
You have to put in the hours.
Yeah.
Well, I love that story about people take photographs of you all the time. You're very famous now. Would you absolutely hate being asked to do that there?
Hate it all the time. Put your hand up. I hate it all the time. Yeah. You ever see footballers going like, it's just, but everyone asks you to do it, and I'd rather not, but I do it sometimes. Depends who it is.
You do it first. Don't
We will.
Listen, can we talk briefly again about McGuigan stuff, because it's kind of you're set up for life now. Are you kind of set up for life? Can you you've retired?
Yeah, I'm
happily
retired.
retired. Don't need to. Do you need to work? You need to,
no,
I mean, just enjoy.
I'm
because there's big money in boxing, and big money attracts bad people, and things go wrong, and it's.
I think it's a sport where it's not really governed properly, and
the finances are opaque.
Yeah,
opaque is one word to put it.
Boxers.
What the fuck is going on? Because even in the bit he was going, there's accountants, forensic accountants, there's agents, there's promoters, there's managers, there's TV rights and all of that, and it just seems a mess.
Oh, it is a mess.
Did you get what you deserved out of it, or should you go on? I could have made X million more. Or
out of boxing.
I should have made X million more.
I've done. Let's see, this is where I have to be careful. I have done very well, and I'm comfortable, and I should be for the rest of my life. But probably. Could have done more,
substantially more.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. It's all about not even just about winning titles; it's about the draw and the amount of people. Like at the time, I was probably one of the most well-supported fighters in the world. Like there was no one taking 5,000 people to Las Vegas to have. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just after Christmas, January, I fought Santa Cruz and Vegas. You know what I mean? So. People didn't really do that, and people didn't sell out their home arenas like I did. So commercially, I was
Manchester and bringing thousands of fans.
We had more people in the arena that night, and Scott Quigg lives in Bury, which is down the road, really.
Yeah.
So I was well supported and commercially attractive to promoters and stuff.
Right. Yeah. And while you were preparing for these fights, did you think that part of the training would be somebody to get a suntan and shoes?
No.
And Indian meals.
Yeah, it was the
some
list
of the
goes
expenses that come out of Carl's purse were unusual.
Not you can say not boxing related.
Not boxing.
Vet bills as well. That was a good one.
Vet bills.
Yeah. But look, you live and you learn. Life lesson, and I was very, very bitter about it. I'm going to say this as well, because when I do podcasts, people always want to talk about the McGuigan stuff, but it's not that I don't like to talk about it, but I don't want people. You'll get people under the comments on this saying, "From still talking about McGuigans," but you're asking me a question, so I'm going to answer. But
I'm bringing it up.
But
because it is, I mean, it's worth a read, by the way. And it's kind of what
I was very bitter for a while, for a good while.
But that's not good for your mental health.
No, it isn't. It isn't, and I'm all right now. I'm all right. I just
you're in a good place now.
Just learned a lesson. Yeah.
Trust people.
Yeah, maybe don't.
Really?
Yeah. Just and that was one of my issues, really. And Christine even says that. Like me and Christine are very different people, but she would, I would speak to some randomer for 10 minutes in a pub, and I think he's my best mate, and if he says, "Here, do you want to fire a few quid at this project?" I'd say, "Oh, why not?" You know what I mean? Like, stupid sometimes. I'd say,
get the sponsorship form there, Dan. We'll get it.
So I've learned not to be so trusting, I think.
Yeah. Right. So Christine keeps you right.
She keeps me right.
And 3 kids keep you right as well.
3 kids keep me right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. One of them plays football. Isn't there?
Two of them do the
No
eldest
boxers?
girl, no boxers. The eldest girl and the
Is that
wee
because
boy.
you don't want them boxing, or do you
yeah,
want the...
a little bit of that, but I think it's I think boxing's a good sport for kids, amateur boxing anyway, and it's a safer sport than people think. Like people think of how brutal it is, but amateur boxing for kids especially, you know, big soft gloves, head guards. If a kid gets his head knocked back, a lot of the time a referee jumps in and stops the fight. If it's too one-sided, he'd stop the fight. So it's safer than people give it credit for, but there's so much good can come from boxing, I think, in terms of discipline and respect and all them sort of things. And it outweighs the negatives. But why I don't want my kids to box is I feel like there'd be a big target on their back.
All right, it's got the name.
Their name's Carl Frampton's their dad. Everybody will want to fill them in. Every time they go to a club for a sparring or something, someone's gone up a level to try and hammer the lads.
Is
You
that
know
why
what I mean?
you told your kids not to be comedians?
They listen to me, by the way.
Just getting back to McGuigan. I know we don't want to go on about McGuigan, but getting back to McGuigan, I haven't read the book, but I'm going to read it because Tim's brought it in, so I'm going to take it away with me. I mean,
ban
what
our one.
To be honest,
no, he'll sell it to me.
No, this isn't mine. I have a mate bought it. You have to sign it for him before I go, by the way.
But you know, I mean, I'm aware of some of it and all that, and I've heard a lot of other stuff. But you know, despite it all, I don't think that anything in that is not the worst thing that Barry McGuigan ever did. Because the worst thing that Barry McGuigan ever did, and not many people know this, so this is a first on this, the worst thing that Barry McGuigan ever did was a chat show.
I know about the chat show.
The BBC in their wisdom gave him a chat show.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it is excruciating.
Yeah.
You know?
I've heard about it. I haven't seen anything, but I don't imagine
No, but
it'll be very good.
it is. I mean, do you remember it?
I do remember.
We tried to put it in Pop Goes Northern Ireland, but they wouldn't let us. Is that right?
Yeah, it was old. Yeah.
Oh, was that bad? Was it?
It's not bad. It's like they give him a chair and it's actually his legs don't touch the ground.
Oh,
Right?
flip.
So and he's wearing white socks. It just looks awful. It just looks awful.
Yeah, we must dig that out again.
Yeah,
Just put that up in the
yeah.
archive.
You've never seen it then?
I've never seen it. I knew about it and heard about it, but he had the crisps as well, didn't he?
He did
Remember
indeed, the nettle crisps.
Yeah,
nettle flavour crisps.
He did. Yeah, he did a lot of that stuff, didn't he? Carl, thank you very, very much. We could talk and talk. I'm delighted for you. I'm delighted about the whiskey and stuff.
How long was that? Oh, was that 50 minutes?
50 minutes.
5-0, was
Yeah,
it?
you see, I did
Must have been
easy
enjoying
time.
that, yeah.
You know, I didn't even get clarification on why there's so many bloody weights at every fight.
Oh yeah, that's
Well,
well,
why
very
is all these-
quickly. Why is there so many bloody
There's
super
too
bantam?
many weight divisions, way too many. There used to be 7 back in the day,
Yeah.
and obviously it was a lot harder to win a title, but there was only 7. But the reason for the weight divisions is the governing bodies can create more titles and they get more sanctioning fees.
Right,
So
okay.
that's
More promotion and more money.
everything. More
yeah,
it's
yeah.
money.
Right,
Everything's
okay.
money.
But listen, not very often we see 3 times world champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Carl Frampton, thank you very much for being our guest. Thank you very much to our sponsors, Phoenix Energy. Remember, we are doing our live podcast, first live podcast on the 12th of October in the Mandela Hall. Tickets available below at Glister. Be special guests. We have readings from Give Me Head Peace, Q&A. We'll announce some special guests very soon. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you once more to the wonderful Mr. Carl Frampton.
Thanks, boys. Thank you.